Now we're going to add navigation states and go back into the HTML, find the link tag and add internal links. Underneath the declaration block we've just placed, we're going to add another one, and this will be for the hover state. Nav, unordered list, link tag, colon, hover. Now remember, the pseudo class is connected with a colon, and inside this section we're going to add in background, and we're going to search for that button hover GIF. So I will use my WYSIWYG to find my button hover up, and then after that I'm going to type in no repeat so the image doesn't repeat, top and left. Now I've just tested this in Firefox and I've noticed that CSS tips no longer fits within that space. So I need to do some calculations and either make this text smaller or reduce the padding. But as you can see, when I hover over the top of each of these buttons now, that button hover GIF displays inside the window. So let's go back into the CSS and put in our next nav unordered list class selector for current home. So we'll type in hash nav unordered list item, and this time we're going to put a period instead of a colon between the list tag and current home, which is the name of our next selector. And inside this section we're going to add a background image. So the background will be, again, it will be button home current GIF, button home current GIF, no repeat, top and left. And then we're going to take out that extra bit of space. The next one we're going to add is current tips. So nav ULLI period current tips, open and close curly brackets, jump in between, return down a couple of lines, place your cursor in between, and background colon, search for the tips button, no repeat. Sorry, I've missed a hyphen on this one. It's very important to make sure that you're spelling everything correctly. Top left, and the very last one will be current selectors. So these are the class selectors for your list items, which enable us to put a graphic file inside our button states. Nav ULLI period current selectors, open and close curly brackets, jump in between, background. I'm going to use the WYSIWYG to search for my button selectors current, up, and you see that tips is the only one that has the styling applied to the text. It's because we haven't yet created a link tag around home and selectors, and that'll be the next thing we need to do. I'm just going to jump ahead. Now we need to assign classes to the HTML. So we need to find the link tag for our home button. So we need to find the link tag for our home button, and we need to add a class selector to the front of the link tag. Li class equals current home, and under tips we will do the same thing. Make a space after Li, add in the word class, double quotes, jump back in between, and current tips. And we'll do exactly the same thing on selectors. So place your cursor in after the Li. You can use the WYSIWYG if it's faster to type in. And then you can see how we'd already actually made our class selectors before in the CSS. It will bring them up in this panel here. So it would be just as easy for me to choose current selectors from that section there. And if I delete one of these, just say I delete the first one that I created, and I place my cursor in and add the word class, I could also go down here and have a look for the class selectors that I'd previously set. So that would save me from making a spelling mistake. So I would choose current home, then I would have to place it inside inverted commas. So let's have a look now and see what difference that makes in our preview window. As you can see, we now have a home, CSS tips and a selectors class applied to each of our link states.